guys, we're gonna be talking about budgeting. Budgeting is as important because you want to spend the right amount of money and not too much money. So Mommy, take it away.
Hey everyone, thank you so much to my special helpers for doing the introduction to this video. Bye ladies. Alright, so as they said, today we're going to be talking about budgeting. And specifically, I am going to be sharing with you all commonly overlooked budget items that can lead to debt. So I have my handy notebook here with me, and I took some notes, so I'm going to be going through that. I compiled a list of about 15 items that sometimes can get overlooked when we're setting up our budgets. And if we overlook these items, it can lead to debt. And we all know that debt oftentimes can cripple us and keep us from walking in our financial purpose. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. But first things first, if you're new here, hey, welcome. My name is Coach D, and I love all things planning. Here on my channel, I share pieces of my life with the hope of helping you to balance, grow, and succeed in yours. All right, so the 15 items that I came up with are items that sometimes can get overlooked. Now, if you follow me here on YouTube, you know that I am a huge planner mom. I love planning. It helps me to stay organized and on top of my tasks. I specifically love budget planning. My background is in finance. My degrees are in finance. I work in corporate finance. So it is my thing. And on my channel, I share budget plan with me videos. And if you notice, I'll plan for the month and I'll consider one-offs, non-BAU items into my monthly budget. I also do the same when we look at my annual budget or our annual budget. So typically my husband and I, we try to have a cadence for when we review the budget. Now I'm more detailed and I love planning. That's really not his thing. He's not a pen and paper kind of planner guy, but it's certainly mine. So I leverage that as a way to make sure that we stay on target and on task in regards to our budget. So item number one are car registrations and car inspections. So this is an annual expense that many of us have when we own our vehicles, is that we have to get them inspected annually. Now, I live in the state of North Carolina, so my car tax bill may be a little bit different from yours, but it's certainly something that we have to account for in our budget. Number two, it includes property taxes. Now, for some, your mortgage company may take care of your property taxes you're paying into escrow and things of that nature. But if that's not the case for you, that's certainly not an expense that you want to overlook for many reasons. You want to make sure that you're current on your taxes, and you also want to make sure that you have the available funds when they come due so that you can pay them. Number three are tax bills. And this one is specifically for my entrepreneurs and business owners. As you're earning revenue, whether it's sale of products or services on your business, you have to account for the taxes that you will owe on those sales and transactions. If you overlook them and perhaps you're paying yourself a salary or you're paying yourself a commission or whatever structure you've set up for your small business, you definitely don't want to overlook the fact that you have to pay taxes on that money as well. And if you're paying yourself and you're disregarding that line item in your business budget, that might be an expense that you're personally on the hook for at the end of the year or at each quarter. Number four are medical copays such as dental, vision, and our annual exams. Now, hopefully, here's my plug. Hopefully you guys are taking care of yourself and you're visiting your doctors, you're visiting your dentist, and your eye care provider. It's important that we take care of our bodies. I understand that oftentimes that can come with a cost, especially if we have certain ailments or if other things befall upon us as we live this life. So I certainly understand medical fees can be quite pricey. I have 4 kids. My oldest is 19, and then I have 3 small children. So as you can imagine, keeping those guys healthy and, just making sure they don't, hurt themselves, and we're not having ER visits and things of that nature. So it can come with a price tag, but there's something that you can do to help account for those types of things. So if you know you have a doctor's appointment in a particular month, you can bake that into your monthly budget, and then you can make sure that you're controlling your variable expenses such as your grocery bill and certainly your dining out and entertainment. So maybe you can cut back on those types of things if you know you have a medical copay coming due, or if you need to make a visit to the doctor, the dentist, the eye care provider, or what have you. So there are ways that you can control it in a month, or you can set up a medical sinking fund. Now, sinking funds are applicable for any of the line items that we'll go through here today. And all that is a way for you to put aside money each and every month into a separate savings account or several savings accounts in preparation for these one-time costs that are not recurring every month. Number 5, HOA fees. This could be your home ownership HOA fees, or if you're like us, we do own a timeshare, and that's the story for another time. But we do own a timeshare, and we have HOA fees that we pay every other year. So it's certainly not something that's reoccurring, but it's something we have to consider in the particular year when they are coming due. Now, there are ways that we do work around having to pay the full amount of the timeshare, but again, that's a story for another time. Number 6 are car repairs. If you know that your car is perhaps an older model and you're coming up on some types of repairs that may be needed for your vehicle, certainly take that into consideration when you're setting up your annual budget and or your monthly budget. Make sure that you account for your car repairs as they are coming due. You can anticipate them, again, based on the age of your vehicle, or if you're noticing like weird noises or perhaps the brakes are starting to sound wonky. Perhaps you should start putting aside money and making sure that you're going to investigate what those sounds are. Again, a sinking fund will come in handy for that as well. Number 7, similar to car repairs, are home repairs. Now for us, I think I mentioned it in a previous video, our AC has been giving us just the biggest headache, but we know it's something that it's almost time for us to evaluate replacing the entire unit in our home. So that's certainly a large expense that we need to start preparing and bracing ourselves for, because I prefer not to dip into our savings to cover that expense. We do have, a home warranty that we purchased. So hopefully that will help to offset the cost, but definitely you should consider home repairs. Understand the age of your home and when things come due in terms of major service repair. For example, you can look at the life cycle of hot water heaters, particularly your brand of hot water heaters, and determine when you think they will need to be serviced. And perhaps you can start setting up a sinking fund so that you can have the available funds in the event that something happens to your appliances. Number 8, pet and vet bills. So we have a small pet. It is an exotic animal. It's a ferret. And we have to go to a specialty vet for her. And we have to go every 6 months, I believe. I don't really recall. My husband takes her. But nonetheless, don't forget about your pets and the animals that you have. Perhaps you need to set up a sinking fund so that you can have some money for their expenses as well. Also, on a monthly basis, we have to maintain pet food, litter, and all of the other things as well. So we are new pet owners. We adopted or purchased our ferret last year. So that's definitely something that we had to start considering in our monthly budget, was food and expenses for our pet. Number 9, special occasions. If you catch my videos, you already know I bake that into our monthly budget. So make sure that you head down to the description box and check out some of my other monthly budget plan with me videos. Number 10, memberships. These can be professional or personal. Don't forget about your annual renewals for memberships, whether it's magazine subscriptions, professional associations, or maybe personal associations. Number 11, vacations, one of my favorite. So I'm going to have some other upcoming videos about how we budget for vacations, so stay tuned. But don't forget about that line item in your budget. Number 12, bank and credit card fees. Now, if you have credit cards that you leverage for various reasons, perhaps your credit card has an annual fee. Make sure that you account for the annual fee hitting your credit card, or if your credit card offers ways for you to avoid having to pay that annual fee, I highly encourage you leverage your credit cards responsibly so that you're not going into debt and that you're accounting for any annual fees that your credit card may have and or your bank. Number 13, hosting guests. This is a unique one. So if you know that your family will come to visit you around the holidays or any other special time throughout the year, make sure that you account for perhaps an increase in food costs if you're going to bring in a cleaner to help clean your home, or if you're needing new bedding or new items so that you'll be able to host your guests comfortably. Don't forget about those expenses in your budget as well. Number 14, wardrobe upgrades or wardrobe replacements. Our clothes, they may wear and tear over time, and we want to make sure that we're taking that into consideration when we set up our budget. Me personally, I do enjoy the Nordstrom's anniversary sale, and that's coming up in July, so I'm preparing to save up money for that because I purchased clothes for myself and the children for fall and winter. Number 15, charitable contributions. This could be your tithes, your offering, and any other money that you put aside to be a blessing to others. We are huge givers, and we try not to restrict ourselves too much with the amount that we give, but we definitely want to account for things like our tithes, a tenth of what we earn, and we can do the math to figure out what that is, but we put that into our monthly budget as well as any other offerings that we want to give. We also like to be a blessing to maybe people who are soliciting or panhandling on the side of the street. My daughter, she has a big heart for wanting to bless people when we see them out and about in a community. So that's something that we want to account for in our budget. Again, we try to live financially free so that when we are moved or pressed upon to be a blessing to someone else, we can do just that. So wow, guys, that was an entire list of about 15 common items that perhaps oftentimes get overlooked in our budgets, and it can lead to debt over time if we continue to miss the opportunity to save up for and prepare for these expenses. So make sure that you hit subscribe so that you can check out some of my other upcoming monthly Plan With Me videos, and you can see just how you can easily bake these items into your budget. So make sure that you hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.